so you really don't want to do that. I take basic vitamins. I take multi-mineral vitamins. I take a lot of protein, but the protein comes mostly from my foods, which is egg whites, chicken, fish, um, uh, turkey. That's my main source of protein. I do put a protein supplement in my milk, my skim milk, which is just a powdered skim milk. Well, it's a powdered supplement that goes into the skim milk. But again, I'm not promoting any of these things to you. Good old basic food, which you can get in the supermarket without spending a ton of money and a ton of time looking for things. It's not easy. If you live by yourself, it's probably the easiest way. Make it your hobby. Eat, do your exercise on the floor, whatever you got to do, or join the gym. Again, you'll find a good personal trainer, or go to the gym on your own and just do some research on the internet as far as moves and stuff. I don't like to show people or tell people what to do without actually seeing the exercise, because if you misinterpret what I say, you might only hurt yourself. And some people can't do certain exercises. Even myself, there's certain ones over the years that I can't do anymore because they're working for me, and I guess because of my age and also my muscle development. And oh, that's me in the background. There you go, folks. That was more for me than you. But anyway, you got to start sometime. Any time's a good time to start exercising. People in their 70s now are finding that they're building muscle. And I don't recommend muscle building or bodybuilding training or weightlifting to somebody that's too young. Under 20 years of age, you're still growing. Even when I graduated high school, I was 18 years old, and I grew an inch within a year, or about a year and a half actually, and so you don't want to start building muscle, because muscle is very easy to build, believe it or not, especially when you're young, obviously. When you build the muscle tissue and you build the muscle size, you're retarding the growth of your bones. Your bones are very important as far as your posture and everything. So what you're doing is you're cramping that style. It's like putting a big fish in a small fish tank. He can only get so big. So what you're doing is you're getting that rib cage expansion that you wouldn't get. You're getting a width in your chest, and so by doing this, like I said, it's like putting a brace around you or putting bandages around you to keep you from growing. So if you're under 20 years of age, I don't recommend heavy weightlifting and heavy bodybuilding. Even though there's a lot of teenage contests now and everything, again, like I said, you're still growing. So, and then there's exercise that people do after they're 20 years old. For instance, they'll do rib cage exercise, which is called pullovers. They'll lay back on a bench and I'll take the weight and I'll pull it over, and I'll say, "What does that do?" And they say, "Well, that expands my rib cage." Well, I guess what? After you're 20 years old or after 25 years old, your rib cage is not going to expand anymore. So don't do that exercise. I don't do it. I did it when I was younger, but now I don't do it. So you don't want to waste time. And now also exercise, as far as women know this very well, it builds bone density. Very important. Men and women lose bone density. So that's another reason why that you want to do exercise. My my doctor always says to me, "Well, why do you do this?" He says, "What do you want to do? You want to live forever?" And I says, "Yeah." I says, "So far, so good. I'm 64, but he's totally out of shape, and he tells me what he eats, and I can see why. It's very important we eat. Again, if you live by yourself, it's easy to keep a certain amount of balance of things in the refrigerator. If you have other people in the house and kids, you got cookies, you got candies and everything, which I love. I love all that stuff. Believe me, when I was a kid, I used to love all that stuff. Even now, I still do. It's very, very hard to resist that. Most people say, "Well, you're lucky because you don't like sweets, you don't like this." I love sweets. I love everything. But even when we go out to dinner, for instance, here's a perfect example. We go out to dinner. If I order first, and my basic diet is fish a day on top of broccoli rabe or spinach, and then it goes around the table. Next thing you know, like we're having a meeting, the gentleman I'm with and stuff, they're all saying the same thing. Next thing you know, they sit straight, pull their stomach in, and they say, "I'll have the same thing." So I order less now. When you go to a restaurant and the first thing they bring out, I'll say, "What's the first thing they bring out?" Everybody will say bread. But most of the time, they'll bring out water. Before you even start, you should drink that glass of water and then scrutinize that menu and then order it. No matter where you go, you can eat healthy. I stop in McDonald's once in a while. I get their salad with the chicken on the top. Or I get the, in Wendy's, I'll get the Mandarin chicken salad. Again, it's not advertisement for them, but, and I get it with the light Italian dressing on it or something. So there's always some place you can eat healthy. It's just a matter of having the willpower to do this. Once you start getting results, you'll get more into it. But again, you have to want it. You, not your husband's going to tell you or your wife's going to tell you. But if the doctor tells you, and he tells you that you have to start exercising for your heart, then what you got to do is start exercising. But again, make sure you're monitored by your doctor. The heart is a muscle; you have to work it. That's very, very important. There's a doctor, Dr. Perricone. He made a very interesting statement about how. Why he does what he does, and which is a lot of exercise and diet. And he made a very good statement, and I kind of go with this. He said, the last few days of my life, I don't want to be a burden to anyone else or myself. Now, by saying that, that's what keeps me going. Also, I train 4 days a week. 2 for vanity and 2 for sanity. I'm a firm believer in that. When I go to the gym, no matter what stressful things I have going on in my life, and believe me, I've been through a lot at 64, a lot. I leave everything outside. There's a bench outside my gym, and I just imagine I put all my problems on there. I go inside, I train people, I exercise, and then when I come out, they're still there. Nobody picks them up. I pick them up and I go back. But just that exercise, that little break, makes me feel so much stronger. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to explain some exercises to you, and if you have any question, there'll be a number that'll come up on the screen that you could call, and we can get a little further into it. I do train people in different gyms in the area, mostly in New Jersey. Sorry to say, being in Staten Island, but anyway, we're going to just talk about some basic exercises, and this is all you really have to do. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, exercise and equipment and machines and this and that and supplements and drinks, but the problem is, there's another good picture of me in the background, folks. Look at that. There you go. I have very low body fat. In this picture right here, my body fat was like about 9%, and my waist was 30 inches in this particular picture, as you can see on both sides here. Okay, so you don't have to get like that. It's good for me. It's something that makes me feel good. It's nice because it's something that I carry with me. Again, we're going to get back to exercise. You got to do sets and you have to do repetitions. Okay, now you're going to work the main body parts of your body. Now, all this elaborate equipment they have and all these things are just basically the same movement, but it makes you think that this piece of equipment is going to give me what I want. If you do the right exercise without all this equipment, you'll get the same results. These energy drinks that people take before they work out, they say I have to energy drink. All they are is a high dose of caffeine. So if you like coffee, have yourself a little espresso before you go to the gym, but eat some protein first. Take a little espresso or coffee, or I used to take instant coffee and put a little bit on my tongue, and well, that used to give me a boom to do my exercises. But there's so many different things that you can take, but if you just get to the basics, and you go to the supermarket, it doesn't have to be organic foods. It can just be good food. I mean, basically, if you're overweight, you're taking in more calories than you're burning. How simple is that? Okay? So you can do your calorie intake, or just check that and see what you're taking each day. There's different charts and everything on the internet that'll tell you exactly how to do that. But I just can't express enough that